In today's show, Eagles cornerback Avonte Maddox looks pretty healthy in some practice footage we got from yesterday. A.J. Brown promises he's not injured and not a wide receiver diva. And Bart Scott gives Jalen Hurts some more rat poison. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show on a Friday. Let's go ahead and jump right into everything happening with the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League as well, starting with a quick injury update here with some practice footage that looks pretty darn good for Avonte Maddox's chances of not only playing on Sunday, as we said yesterday, but looking like he's going to be close to 100% healthy. So here is the overall, I would say, quote from the injury report. You see it on your screen right now. James Bradbury, A.J. Brown, Fletcher Cox, Dickerson, Graham, a lot of the players were officially a rest in terms of their participation, but just a few were actually limited with real injuries. Avonte Maddox, the toe you see there, and Lane Johnson, the groin, limited as well. This is a really, really good sign that both of these players are going to go ahead and play, and that comes from, of course, the Eagles' official Twitter account. Now, you go over here to some practice footage. Chris Franklin, one of the people who covers the Eagles up in Philadelphia, posted this to his official Twitter account, and honestly, you see Avonte Maddox running around. It's hard to tell that he's actually injured. Now, he's not 100%. Let's just be very, very real here. And a lot of these videos don't necessarily show him fully running around and cutting at 100%, but he at least is out there with the helmet on, with the pads on, and this to me is really, really good news for Philadelphia as they need Avonte Maddox to really get the defense back to 100%. With Maddox healthy, this is a fully healthy defense. I mean, literally, there is not an injury on this defense that you can even point to as a player actually being out. Now, does this mean Maddox will play every single nickel snap on Sunday against the 49ers? I don't think so. I think they're going to continue to rotate him, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and just make sure the defense is as versatile as possible, but really, really good-looking stuff here in terms of Avonte Maddox being healthy, running around in practice, and looks like he will play on Sunday, which, as I always say whenever I'm wrong, I'll admit it, I thought he would be out till at least a Super Bowl. The fact that he's back after a toe injury, which could be turf toe, could be anything related to that sort of area, is pretty impressive, and I was wrong saying he wasn't going to be back for the NFC title game. Thumbs up for that. That is really, really good news. What's also good news is the FanDuel betting promo for new customers. If you haven't gotten in on this yet, might as well do it now on a Friday. I mean, come on. This is a crazy good-looking deal in terms of betting $5, getting back $150 in bonus bets guaranteed, regardless if your bet wins or loses. I think Philadelphia, with the line moving around, -2.5, -1.5, -2, they're favorites. They should be. I'm really leaning towards Philadelphia winning this game by at least a touchdown, maybe even 10 points. I just think that Brock Purdy's going to look a little bit human, and he's not going to be ready for myself and the rest of our 70,000 fans at the Link going crazy on Sunday. If you want to jump in on this promo, it's not going to last past the postseason. I'm telling you, it's going away very, very soon. Jump in on it here. New customers, bet $5, get back $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. Link is down below in the description box. All right, let's move over here to kind of I'd say, kicked under the rug story for Philadelphia this week, and that was A.J. Brown in terms of the injury situation, but also being kind of asked if he's a diva. Now, every single receiver in the National Football League who's worth their weight in salt is kind of a diva. It comes with the position group. You look at Stephon Diggs last week, running around with the Buffalo Bills, losing, scoring very little points. The offense looked very stale and very one-dimensional, and he was upset at Josh Allen and was a little bit of a diva on the sideline after the Bills lost. Do you blame him for that? No, because he looked across the sideline and saw a really good offense with a quarterback who didn't turn the football over in Joe Burrow, and he wanted to actually go back to play the Chiefs and make a Super Bowl. So diva is a term that's thrown around a lot for wide receivers in the NFL, but really, I think A.J. Brown's response to the whole diva call out is pretty appropriate. Here's the NFL.com article, quote, Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver A.J. Brown got a little dinged up in Saturday's divisional round win over the New York Giants. Though he didn't get into detail regarding the ailment, Brown said Wednesday he'll be good to go in Sunday's NFC Championship game against the visiting San Francisco 49ers. It was a bit of a bruised ego that was more noticeable against the Giants, as Brown was visibly dismayed on the bench during a blowout win and was seen being talked to by head coach Nick Sirianni. It's simply the nature of the playmaker in Brown, the two-time Pro Bowler explained on Championship Wednesday. They throw the ball to me 100 times, I'm going to want it 101. Brown said via ESPN's Tim McManus. Me personally, I just feel like I can change the game at any moment. Getting the ball often keeps you going, keeps you in rhythm. It definitely puts you in a zone. You're locked in. Of course, I want the ball, end quote. There was a quote before the divisional round game where A.J. Brown was really excited. You could tell, playing in a divisional round matchup, playing it at the Link in front of the fans, and he said he wanted to have a massive game, and he really didn't. And I think that there's a little part of him that said, hey, I want to get in on the fun. I mean, this looks like an absolute blast. I want to get a touchdown. I want to get 9 catches, and Philadelphia didn't really throw the football towards him really that often. Now, you got to kind of, take your chances here. You can't just force feed the ball to A.J. Brown 24/7, but I actually would agree with him a little bit that the offensive scheme can be a little more Brown heavy than it has been the past couple of weeks. Not saying don't run the football, not saying don't give it to Dallas Goedert or DeVonta Smith, it still be balanced, but you can throw 2 or 3 more balls A.J. Brown's way, and I expect Philadelphia to do just that, especially over the top against a kind of lackluster 49er secondary that gives up a lot of deep balls and a lot of big plays. Maybe Brown has a breakout NFC Championship game, which, honestly, I am 100% for, and you guys should be as well. Give the show a thumbs up for that. Okay, let's get to the rat poison of today's show. There has been a new national media personality every single day this week who just decides that ripping Jalen Hurts is what they want to do. It's one of their favorite things. And Bart Scott, remember the old linebacker of the Jets? Can't wait, him? He took his shot at Jalen Hurts, and, well, it's not the end of the world, as none of these are. It's not going to impact the game on Sunday, as none of this will, but it's still, as an Eagle fan, you guys love whenever I talk about the national media personalities running their mouths. Here's Bart Scott saying Jalen Hurts is, in fact, not a superstar. He's just a star, and you are the ones confusing it. Listen to this crap.
In this league, too often, we confuse good with star with superstar. It is only 3 superstar quarterbacks in this league. It's Allen, Burrow, and Mahomes. Everybody else are to a certain extent, is a product of a system. Jalen Hurts is not a superstar. And if Philadelphia decides to pay him like he's a superstar, you have to capitalize early on in the first couple of years of a big extension because you have to start saying goodbye. Amari Cooper is not there because Dak Prescott contract is. So that means he has to overcome and make Gallup a great player.
How about that? So just to make this clear, Josh Allen is a superstar, the quarterback who can't seem to beat Patrick Mahomes at all or get out of the NFC or the AFC divisional round. He's not a superstar, but Jalen Hurts, who had a better overall record, numbers honestly can be pretty darn close, if not a little bit better as well, throws way less interceptions, and is still alive in the NFC title game. He's not a superstar. Josh Allen is. He's a superstar. Bart Scott, I promise you, Jalen Hurts is not. Now, there is an ounce of truth to every single rat poison, every single rip that comes out of Jalen Hurts and the rest of these young quarterbacks when they say, you can't give him a bunch of money or else you're going to lose pieces around him. That's true. That's 100% true. But at the same time that you say that, you can't then spin over to Patrick Mahomes and spin over to Josh Allen and say, they got a lot of money, but they're still winning games and going to AFC Championship games. If you're a good enough quarterback, you can win with anything around you. Now, it can be a little bit more difficult. You might not dominate as much as Philadelphia has done this year, but you gotta believe that Howie Roseman understands he's smart enough to go ahead and, 1, make sure that he re-signs him to a fair deal, and 2, keeps as many talented players around him as well. I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts getting a bunch of money and Philadelphia falling off a cliff. I think the Eagles are entering into possibly a dynasty. Now, that's a very, very tough term. Dynasty for a lot of people means you win 7 Super Bowls in 10 years. I'm not saying that. A dynasty simply can be, in the National Football League, you win a Super Bowl this year, and then you're a 1 seed or a division winner or a division champ in terms of the playoff round. As long as you're going in deep playoff runs or going down deep playoff runs, then I would call that a dynasty as well, at least from NFL terms, because what the Patriots did is a true dynasty. No other team has come close, and yet we still say the Chiefs are in a dynastic area right now because they keep winning with Patrick Mahomes. So this is fine. If you really think Jalen Hurts is going to struggle in the NFC title game on Sunday, I have a bridge in Brooklyn that I would love to sell you for a really, really, really good price. Trust me. DM me on Twitter at RealThomasMott, and I'll give you that deal. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Okay. Final little story here. NFL national story of the day comes from Bleeding Green Nation. Frank Reich has a new NFL head coaching gig. It is with the Carolina Panthers, and this is significant for Philadelphia. We like to tie things into Philadelphia in at least one way here. You see the Bleeding Green Nation snippet. There's 2 significant NFL coaching developments that came forth on Tuesday. could potentially hold meaning for the Philadelphia Eagles. Frank Reich was hired by the Carolina Panthers, and Nathaniel Hackett was hired by the New York Jets. Now, the article goes into the whole idea that essentially Philadelphia was probably going to look at hiring Frank Reich as either an offensive coordinator replacement to Shane Steichen if he leads for a head coaching job, or at least bring him on as an offensive consultant. That no longer is possible because he is with the Carolina Panthers. Same goes for Nathaniel Hackett, who was hired by the New York Jets. Now, a lot of people are going to immediately plug Hackett was the offensive coordinator with Aaron Rodgers during his MVP years. Could Rodgers be moved to the Jets? That's, another story for another day. I'm fine with that. I think the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, with those weapons on the outside and the stable of running backs they have and Sauce Gardner on the outside, they could be very scary in that division. But you also got to go into that division with Josh Allen and Mike McDaniels to Bill Belichick. It's a tough division overall, so we'll see about that. But this does show you that some of the big-name offensive coordinator options that were out there for Philadelphia, if Steichen were to leave, are probably not going to be there. One, because they want head coaching jobs, like you see Frank Reich do, and two, because Philadelphia is going to have to wait till the end of the Super Bowl, hopefully, before Frank Reich or Shane Steichen officially gets a job, and then they go to rehire. I expect the Eagles to promote from within for both the offensive coordinator job and maybe the DC job if Fangio doesn't want to wait out for Philadelphia, but obviously we will see. Congrats to Frank Reich. I think he just was the result of a bad organization with the Colts. Couldn't get the quarterback position right, but no one at the Colts has been able to do that post Andrew Luck. I see the Carolina Panthers being very heavy in the trading up in the draft to go get a quarterback. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis. They let Frank Reich go ahead and develop him like Reich was able to do with Carson Wentz, and then they have a pretty decent team overall. They won a bunch of games with Sam Darnold last year, so congrats to Frank Reich. Let him know down below, and the fact that he's now a head coach in the NFC, good for him. Very excited to see where he goes with the Panthers. All right, that is it for us today on the Thomas Mott Show. One more show tomorrow before I get on an early Sunday morning flight to Philadelphia. Obviously, a lot going on today. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we're going to have a great weekend, and the Birds are going to win. And then we got 2 more weeks of hype before the Super Bowl. I am pumped. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.